attract insects that crush the heads of the damned and eat their brains, that crush their bones and eat their marrow. Some people, setting fire to grass and wood, have destroyed insects. By chasing him away, they have burnt a forest to complete the carnage. For all these reasons, they fall into the hell of the burning forest where the damned are burned in the fire of grass and wood. Some people, sword in hand, have gone into battle, wounded and killed. They have cut down a tree under which they have crushed their enemy in order to avenge some old grievance. They have betrayed the secret confided to them in good faith by a friend. For all these reasons, they fall into the hell of the forest of swords. When the damned enter into this hell, the wind blows over the sword-shaped leaves that then cut off the hands, feet, ears and noses of the damned. In this forest there are ravens, vultures and evil dogs that come to eat the flesh of the damned. Some men have stabbed their enemy with sharp knives. They have wounded their enemy with a stake or a lance. They have ruined a path, taken away a bridge. They have destroyed the path of the holy Dharma by substituting the path of a Dharma for it. They fall into the hell of the path of knives. In this hell, on a path closed off between two barriers, sharp knives have been fixed in such a way that the damned must pass under them. Some men have given themselves up to lust and have taken over other men's wives. They have lusted after and engaged in sex. For all these reasons, they fall into the forest of iron spines. At the top of spiny trees, 1 yojana in height, are huge poisonous snakes transformed into beautiful women. They invite the damned to climb up and take their pleasure with them. Besides, the guardians of hell force the damned to climb the trees. Immediately the spines turn downwards and transfix the damned, who endure the spines piercing through their bones into their marrow. When they come to the top of the trees, the magical women change back into snakes which break the heads of the damned, penetrate into their bellies and pierce holes in many places until they are completely torn apart. Finally, when they are brought back to life and in their normal state, the magical women, now standing at the bottom of the trees, call them again. The guardians of hell shoot arrows at them and make them descend. The spines reverse their direction, and when they reach the ground, the magical women change back into poisonous snakes which tear up the bodies of the damned. viii. After a long time, when the damned come out of the forest of burning iron spines, they see in the distance a river of fresh, delicious water. They go towards it, but when they get into it, it becomes boiling salt water. The damned are in it hardly a moment when their skin and flesh decompose and their bones fall into the water. The Rakshasas, guardians of hell, pull them out with a forked hook and set them down on the river bank. In the previous lives, these unfortunates had wounded and killed water animals, fish or turtles. They had pushed people to fall into the water. They had thrown them into boiling water or into ice water. They suffer this punishment for all these evil acts. viii. In the hell of the copper cauldron, the Rakshasas, guardians of hell, ask the damned where they are going, and the latter answer, "We are unfortunate and we do not know where we are going. We are hungry and thirsty." When they say they are thirsty, the guardians chase the damned with whip lashes and make them sit on a red-hot copper stake. They open their mouths with pliers and pour in molten copper. If they say they are hungry, the guardians make them sit on a copper stake and make them swallow iron balls which enter and burn the mouth, penetrate and burn the throat, penetrate and burn the stomach. Having burned the 5 internal organs, they fall down onto the ground. In the previous lives, these unfortunates had stolen other people's goods to have enough to eat. As monks, they sometimes pretended to be sick to get melted butter or honey. Without discipline, concentration and wisdom, they had accepted many gifts and hurt people with slander. For all of these previous wrongdoings, they fall into the hell of the copper stake. The 8 cold hells. In the arbuda hell, people are plunged into a body of water where a pernicious wind blows so that their skin is torn off. Their hair falls out, their tendons broken, the flesh torn, the bones broken and the marrow runs out. When they recover their wholeness, the damned undergo the same punishment again from the beginning. In the previous lives, these unfortunates had stripped human beings during the winter months, or stolen fuel and fire from people in the grip of the cold. Or else they had been wicked nagas, angry and full of hate, who had caused a rain of hail and ice to fall to annoy humans. Or else they had scorned and slandered the Buddha, his disciples or people who were observing morality. Or else they had committed grave sins by their 4 actions of speech. For all these reasons they fall into the arbuda hell. It is the same in the nirarbuda hell. But whereas the arbuda hell has several holes by which one can sometimes leave or enter, the nirarbuda hell has no holes, and there is no means by which one can leave or enter. EV. In the 3 hells, atata, hahava and huhuva, the damned shiver in the biting cold wind, unable to open their mouths, and these hells are named after the groans which are heard there. viii. In the utpala hell, the ice and mud are like a blue lotus. viii. The shape of the padma hell is like a red lotus. viii. The mahapadma hell is the dwelling place of kieli. The sage who hears about these hells cries out in fear. Alas! It is because of ignorance, hatred and attachment that one comes to undergo these sufferings. One comes out of them only to re-enter them again infinitely. Seeing these hells, the bodhisattva says to himself, these sufferings are the acts for causes and conditions. They all result from ignorance and the afflictions. I will apply myself energetically to the 6 virtues and accumulate the qualities in order to relieve beings of the sufferings of the 5 destinies. Thus the bodhisattva stimulates his compassion and increases his exertion. If one saw one's father and mother shut up in prison, beaten and afflicted in 10,000 ways, one would look for any way to save them and one's mind would not rest for one moment. Thus the bodhisattva, who sees beings undergo the sufferings of the 5 destinies, thinks of them ceaselessly as his parents. Exertion and the other virtues. 1. Moreover, the exertion of the bodhisattva is practiced diligently from lifetime to lifetime. The mind of the bodhisattva never draws back from seeking wealth and treasures to give to beings. If he himself possesses goods, he never ceases to give them all away. 2. Moreover, the bodhisattva observes the precepts energetically. Whether they are great or lesser, he takes them all, he keeps them all without transgressing or violating them. If he happens to miss a precept, be it small as a hair, he confesses at once and hides nothing. 3. Moreover, the bodhisattva diligently cultivates patience. Whether one strikes him with a knife or a stick, whether one harms him or insults him, whether he is covered with veneration or worship, he endures all of it and remains indifferent and detached. In the face of the profound dharma that his mind is unable to probe, he ignores doubt and hesitation. 4. Furthermore, the bodhisattva cultivates the 4 trances with exertion and special attention. He can dwell there, keep them and thus obtain the 5 superknowledges, the 4 boundless ones, the 8 liberations, the spheres of mastery on the 10 spheres of totality. Provided with these qualities, he obtains the 4